If you are cosmic enthusiasts and eager about space exploration missions, you must be aware about SpaceX's Starship 28 wet dress rehearsal planned on February 14, 2024. This critical program signifies another important progress towards realizing Elon Musk's vision of the space expeditions. Cosmic enthusiasts and experts alike wait for the outcome of the rehearsal with excitement. Like other expeditions, people were zealously waiting for SpaceX's Starship Flight 3 wet dress rehearsal. But the program was met with a sudden twist, as the wet dress rehearsal planned on February 14th was unexpectedly aborted. Another attempt was also made on February 16th, but it was also abandoned after a small amount of propellant loading. Welcome back to our channel. Join the space exploration journey with us and discover challenges and mysteries of cosmic adventures. Today, we are going to find out the reasons for the unsuccessful attempt of a wet dress rehearsal of the Starship prototype and why it was aborted. Before moving on to exploring what went wrong during Starship's wet dress rehearsal. First, have a short look at what is wet dress rehearsal. Well, it is essentially a launch vehicle system test in which the entire steps of launch of a rocket without real ignition is simulated. In this test, all systems of a launch procedure are tested, including loading of propellants into the rocket. The liquid propellants are actually loaded into the rocket during the execution of the test. The propellant components include liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen, etc. This rehearsal allows engineers and mission controllers to verify that all systems are functioning properly before the actual launch takes place. It ensures everything is ready for a successful launch of actual flight. So, what happened during the Starship's wet dress rehearsal of Flight 3? Well, things started off in the right direction. The reasons for abandonment of pre-launch test with Booster 10 of Ship 28 is still unknown, but with some interesting observations of Starship placement and removal from the launch pad, we can find some of its explanation. Several possibilities are there for rehearsal cancellation. Let's delve into each potential reason for abandonment of this pre-launch test. Starship 28 and Super Heavy Booster 10 were placed at the production site few weeks before the wet dress rehearsal and have undergone extensive system checks and details, assembly verifications necessary before the launch of Starship. After all the checks and fixes, Booster 10 returned back to the launch site. It was placed at the top of the orbital launch mound. It was placed there for further testing after engine replacement. On February 9th, Ship 28 was departed to production site and placed in between launch tower arms and was later lifted and positioned at top of Booster 10. You can see from the visuals that during the lift of the Starship, Rapture vacuum engine was perfect compared to other engines. There might be a reason that it was replaced at the production site. A worker that was seen working on the top of booster and hot stage ring clamps might have noticed some anomaly. Starship was destacked on February 12th in the early morning. It was re-lifted to the position again after few days, but its wet dress rehearsal was aborted after loading few amount of propellants. From these indications, there might have some technical glitches and pressure issues in the engines. As it was seen that Booster 10 was rolled back to the Mega Bay and was placed on a work stand, suggests that the issue might be related to the vehicle rather than the tank farm. The observation regarding the teams that brought in additional vaporizers and tanks and proceeded to install them in the location where water tanks were previously removed. These additions are probably intended to enhance the capability that was lost when the tanks were removed. The existing tanks along with newly installed tanks are part of the orbital tank farm pressure system. They might have also found some anomalies in the propellant loading process, which prompted engineers to abort the test till further investigation. After this anomaly, SpaceX proceeded with the water deluge system test. This step is engineered to spray thousands of liters of water underneath the launch mount. It safeguards both the launch pad hardware and launch vehicle against intense thermal and acoustic conditions during flight. One thing that cannot be ignored is the functionality of the ground system. The equipment that supports the Starship on the ground, such as connections, fueling hoses or loading arms, might have malfunctioned that leads to interruption in the rehearsal. There is also a possibility of technical problems in the fueling system that workers or engineers might have observed. The constraints in the fueling system might be leakage in the system or problem in propellants that lead to termination of the test. After Operation Aborted, SpaceX placed Ship 28 on suborbital Pad B for further testing. Soon after Ship 28 was placed on Pad B, the team started working inside the methane tank while it remained attached to the crane. The aim of the working seems to test connections inside the tank that may have faced the issue. The problems might be in the launch pad of the Starship. Well, Starships rely on a specific sequence of events during fueling. Any deviation from the sequence of actions and anomaly in the system can cause disaster. It's important to remember that space missions are high-risk endeavors. Even minor discrepancies in the fueling process can have serious consequences. If there is even the slightest risk in a space mission, it's better to be cautious than to do a disaster and leave it for next time. It gives the team a chance to figure out what went wrong and how to fix it before the next test. SpaceX did not see these setbacks as failures. In fact, they see it as an opportunity to improve and learn. They are not afraid to take risks, rather embrace failure as a stepping stone to success. They test, retest, until they get it right. Setbacks are expected, especially with a project as big and ambitious as Starship. Each time SpaceX encounters a problem, they are one step closer to achieving their goal of making space journeys. Thanks for watching. Join us next time as we continue to reveal starships and space expeditions. Until then, keep looking up.